one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, man, you do something about it, because you can.
This story is brought to us from NBC News, and this is a really long story. This is really long, and I'm going to give you a portion of it, and then if you want to read the whole thing all the way down, the link to this story is in the description box. So if you go to the description box, you can click that link and read the whole thing. It's pretty lengthy. But parents in Los Angeles' Koreatown called for mental health help in the middle of their son's bipolar episode. Now, clinical personnel showed up, and so did the police shortly thereafter. Police fatally shot Yong Yang, who was 40, who had a knife in his hand less than 10 seconds after officers opened the door to his parents' apartment, where he had locked himself in, according to newly released Bodycam video. Now, the parents of Yang, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder around 15 years ago, have told NBC News exclusively that they are disputing part of the account captured on Bodycam, in which police recount a clinician saying Yang was violent before the shooting on May 2nd of this year. The video, which Los Angeles police uploaded to YouTube last Thursday, captured the encounter between officers and Yang. Here it is.
Warning. Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Well, now, this all started in Koreatown on May 2nd, and the night before that, May 1st, is when the man actually came to his parents' apartment. We'll show you some video from the body camera here from the LAPD officers. Now, the family had told LAPD that he showed up the night before and was combative and suffering from the mental illnesses that he had, and actually forced them out of the apartment, making the parents sleep in their car that night. The next morning, the parents went back upstairs to try to get their son to come out, and he wouldn't. That's when they called an LA County mental health team. A clinician came out and tried to talk to him, and that's when the clinician told police that the man got violent with him. That's when LAPD was called. They arrived. They also tried to get him out. He did not come out of the apartment. That is when a supervisor was called to the scene and once again tried to get the man to come out, but he wouldn't. That's when the decision was made to use the keys given to the LAPD by the family to open the door and try to force him out of the apartment. We're going to show you the moments that happens. I do want to warn you, this video could be disturbing for some of our viewers.
Drop it!
And the LAPD says when they opened that door, he was armed with a knife. I slowed the video down here so you could see that knife in his hand as those officers entered. Now, the family's kind of sticking point on this is that they claim the LAPD should have used less than lethal rounds prior to them shooting him. Now, in the video, I did hear that sergeant coordinate somebody to have less than lethal options. Those less than lethal options were never used, though. This case now being investigated by several agencies, including the LA County District Attorney's Office. Guys?
Myung-Suk Yang said she initially called the Los Angeles County Department of Mental Health about her son on the morning of the shooting. Members of the county psychiatric mobile response team responded, but ultimately turned to the police for assistance. That's the wrong thing to do. She and her husband Min Yang said Yong had been hearing voices and wanted to be alone in the apartment. Quote, "The whole situation was created so that he could protect himself. That's all. He just yelled out. People were trying to barge in, and he clearly stated that you guys are not invited," according to Min Yang. Now, the mental health department declined to comment on the case, but provided a statement about circumstances in which field-based staff members would request law enforcement support because they want to feel safe, I guess, from a guy who's just wanting help. Quote, "Our field intervention teams are trained to de-escalate mental health crises without law enforcement involvement." The statement goes on, "In instances where de-escalation through clinician means is not possible and the person in crisis remains an imminent threat to themselves or others, despite DMH's efforts, law enforcement will be contacted to maintain safety and attempt to keep the peace." Well, I don't know about keeping the peace. Police in Lopez declined to comment. Lopez had been involved in the 2021 non-fatal shooting of a man who had a replica firearm. In October of 2023, the district attorney concluded that Lopez acted in self-defense in use of his deadly force. Of course he did. The couple said it was the day before the shooting that they began to notice their son talking to himself and to voices in his head. The behavior continued into the next day, but never turned violent. So in a recording captured in the body camera video, a clinician whose name has not been released told police on the phone that Yang Yang's dad had said Yang had become violent. And he's just, reaching out for help. I get it. But, quote, the father called our department only because he's very violent and aggressive. We tried to engage him. He became aggressive, threatening me. I kind of stood away. That's the clinician's encounter with Yang Yang. Was not captured in the released video. Police Captain Kelly Muniz also said in the video that the clinician had said Yang Yang was yelling and talking to himself at his parents' home the night before the shooting, eventually forcing the parents out of the apartment. A quote here, he just tried to attack me and the father, a clinician whose face is blurred says in the video, as Min Yang, whose face is also blurred, walks into the conversation. He became very aggressive. He tried to kick me. I walk away. He had some physical altercation. That's end quote. But Min Yang said his son was not physically violent at the time of the shooting or the night before. He was just shouting, I guess. I don't know. He wanted to be alone. The blinds were shut off and no one comes in. That's how he protects himself. He knows he's safe inside of his residence or his parents' residence, Min Yang said. He did not push us out of my apartment the night before. He was talking strangely. That's why we left him alone, so he doesn't have to interact with other individuals, even his parents.
Hey, sir, how you doing?
Kind of inside the family and the mother, and then he's inside of the unit. He's not.
Okay, so are you here to place a hold on him, or?
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna put him on hold and call the ambulance. They're gonna be shortly.
Okay.
But I tried talking to me. The middle of the city tried to kill me and walk away. He
Okay.
has some physical altercation.
Is he in there by himself?
Yeah, by himself inside.
Okay. Is there any weapons in the house?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Yes, by
Does he
phone.
speak English?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
First language.
Okay.
He needs to go to the hospital.
Okay. So you already have the ambulance en route?
Yeah.
Okay. Did they give you an ETA or?
My partner. The view?
Where's your apartment? In the back?
The one with the glass windows
Okay.
upstairs.
And do you have the keys with you?
Yeah.
Just in case you lock the door? Hello, it's police department.
Yes?
Can I have you open the door, Mr. Young?
No, actually not. Not unless you have a good reason.
Okay, well,
Guys, don't touch that. You will not enter here.
Mr. Yang,
No, I did not invite you.
I understand you didn't invite us.
Yeah.
Okay, but there's people here that are concerned about what's going on with you.
Say, Buddha? No say. Sorry, you're not even a cop. I'm not inviting you.
An additional unit?
Good. I mean, supervisor's coming, but he's gonna be we're not. I don't think we'll go in.
He comes in, Buddha, I know.
No.
Buddha say. Buddha say.
He says anybody comes in, I'm gonna kill him.
He pulls out immediately.
Oh,
Understand?
yeah, we're not gonna go in.
Buddha say. Buddha.
Let me get him just shaking. What? 28, 25. Can I get into 2 minutes that much?
On the day of the incident, after the couple called the mental health department, personnel arrived and took little time to understand Yang Yang's symptoms, his father said. Ryan Casey, an attorney for the Yang family, said personnel spent less than 2 minutes and 30 seconds assessing and assisting Yang before they called the police.
What's your son's name?
Young?
Young? Y-O-N-G or?
Violent.
Okay. And you have keys to go in, right?
Yes.
Okay. We're gonna try to ask him to come out. I'm gonna try and see if I could talk to him, convince him. Okay? We'll make entry if he still refuses to open the door. But I don't want to force him to go, and then he might get hurt because we're going to be involved into use of force with him by us putting hands on him. You understand that? If he still refuses to come out, we'll give him a warning, letting him know that you guys don't want him here, and you want him arrested for trespassing. That's the other option. If you're okay with signing a private person's arrest for trespassing, then we could take him. But that's going to prevent him from going to a 72-hour hold.
Then it becomes a criminal thing.
Yes. So that's the other option. So I'm going to try to do
that you can take him to the
yes.
hospital.
I'm going to try to do my best to try to get him, but we can't force him out just to go receive treatment. Are you understanding that?
Even though his medical condition, the mental condition,
Yes, but he's not threatening.
threat can be dangerous to himself and us.
Yes, but it comes to a point where we can't force him to receive the treatment if they choose not to. We're going to try our best if we have to. I'm just warning you, if something happens, if we put hands on him, if he gets hurt, that's just the outcome that's going to come out of it by us trying to get him out of the house. You understand that?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, so I'm going to try to talk to him. I'm not opening the door yet. I want to open the door until the RA gets here.
Yeah.
So that way we just put him in. Who's going to put hands on? Need be?
Primary. I'm primary.
And who's my Leslito?
I'll do Leslie.
Okay, here I get my contact. So right now, let me just try to talk to him, see if I can convince him to open the door.
Hey, this is the police. Mr. Young, come out. Hey, you're gonna get shot.
Arrest. Hey, drop it. Drop it.
Don't move. Don't move. Drop the knife. There you go. Hey, don't reach for your pocket. Don't reach for your pocket. Don't reach for your pocket. All right, hold on.